So Tesla investors are doing one of two things right now. They're either screaming their head off yes or screaming their head off no. It's one of the two options. There's not really a lot of middle ground here. And it doesn't actually matter what anyone thinks, right? So here I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant right here, and then we're going to talk about exactly what Tesla did the previous day, what it did on earnings today, and why earnings doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form in the long term, and subsequently why Tesla's actually discounted 50% right now, and everyone's yelling at it saying that it's not enough, right? When 2 years ago, when Tesla was $432, you all were screaming bloody murder, and then when it went to 100, you also screamed bloody murder, but then subsequently went back to 400. Okay, explain that logic to me. Once you do that, let me know in the comment section below. But Tesla came out and basically was sliding ahead of crucial Q1 earnings report, right? So you guys will already know the earnings report when it came out. You know what it would be doing right now. You know exactly what the shares are doing right now. I don't. I'm in the past. I'm sorry. I can only tell you based on what information I have right now. And subsequently, it was down 6.94% intraday. It actually closed the previous day down 5.75%. Now, the question is that did we actually fill the gap that we left the previous day at the start of the week? Did we fill this gap? Yes, no, maybe. And are we above 233? Simple as that. Simple as that. And if we're below, let's say, the pivotal low down here at approximately the 215 level, then most likely we're going to get head lower. But why are you complaining about that, right? So let's take a step back and let's talk about Tesla in a very brief consensus manner. You have Elon Musk, which is the CEO essentially ruling Tesla like an iron fist, just basically got the guy elected in the presidency that put 145% tariff on his competitors that were undercutting their cars. But yet, because the economy is basically falling off a cliff, it's Tesla's fault they're not selling more cars when all the other companies have the same problem. And yet, they're the ones that are going to go down with a largest U.S. manufacturing versus the other ones. Let that sink in just for a second and basically make no sense whatsoever. Now, if you go and follow anyone that does any bit of technical analysis, they will tell you, oh, look, this is a bear flag pattern. If it plays out, which again, it most likely will play out to the downside just because they hate Elon Musk with a fury and a passion, that will result in Tesla actually coming down to a discounted price of approximately $135. So now let's talk about what we talk about always previously when we talk about anything. Higher lows are your friend. So in the larger time scale, right, we basically had this higher low, and is there another one coming right here, even if maybe around $160, 100 and something? Even if you get this low of 133, it's not actually going to be the low, the true low that's going on with everything. So again, are you super mad that you're getting a discount on Tesla, right? Like, I would love to be offered a 50% discount on a stock like Nvidia. Oh, wait, we got that, and everyone is screaming bloody murder about that company. I wonder why. And also, again, it's like you don't really have to pick the best stock in the world. Just invest in companies that are extremely discounted. Like, we talked about this on the last video. I know I'm getting off on a tangent right here, but UNH, right? We talked about UNH, continued its sell-off the previous day, down another 6.34% at $425 a share. And everyone's like thinking the end of the world. Magically, cars aren't going to be produced. Magically, health insurance is not going to be produced. And magically, all these price targets at the downside are going to actually come to fruition. Magically, the world's economy is basically going to slow down into a never-ending pit that never will recover. We're going to go to another Great Depression. I'm just like, did you all freaking like step out of a time machine out of the Great Depression and think the whole world's going to end? Like, you don't actually have like a reconciliation of what happens with the stock market, right? Like, let's just zoom out what happens with this thing. The only thing it knows, the only thing the stock market knows is how to point up. And if you don't believe me, let's look at Netflix, right? Pointing up. Google. Oh, by the way, Bill Ackman buying Google. Fun story about that. You know, the smartest guy in the freaking world when it comes to investing. JP Morgan going straight up. AVGO going straight up. Palantir going straight up. Tesla going straight up with a little bumps in the road. Mind you, Amazon did the same thing, right? Amazon, when it was back here, right? When Amazon was basically $15 a share, or like $1,500 a share pre-split, going back to 2014, the thing literally was, everyone think Amazon was basically going to be dead, right? It was the thing that disrupted the industry. And same with Tesla. Tesla is a huge disruptor in the industry. And again, they're a car company. They're not necessarily like this thing about like self-driving and all this. Like, they're a car company at the heart. They sell cars. That's what they essentially do. That's why the news with them basically not pushing back their deliveries of the like the cheaper model rollouts, that was pretty bad, right? Now, in hindsight, Tesla really needs to get back above this pivotal level of approximately 161 for a weekly breakout. That would signify further expansion, right? It would stop this slide choppiness on Tesla, right? So we're not reaching a consensus yet of where Tesla is actually going to go. We're reaching a consensus that this is a decent price to buy, right? We're seeing that volume is ramping while price is stabilizing. So that's a very good indication, but it could also be an indication of more carnage ahead, right? So we did have this massive fall, right, on a weekly basis. We had this massive fall off a cliff right here. So now are we going to dead cat bounce, or was that the dead cat bounce already? And then we're going to head lower as basically the trade war Powell commentary, the spat between Jerome Powell and Trump, and we did cover a video on that, so make sure you guys check that out on the channel. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button and the like down below, really helps the channel out. Thank you all so much. But again, even if Tesla falls down to sub 160, buy more, because subsequently Tesla is magically not going to just fall off the face of the earth. People are just magically not going to buy electric cars. They're pretty cool electric cars, just to be frank. And also, Donald Trump just basically slapped their competitors, BYD and Rivian, with huge amount of tariffs. So they're absolutely in a price advantage point when the economy actually picks back up. And the thing is, the stock will actually move faster than the economy picking back up. So people are going to preemptively buy Tesla, and coincidentally, why is it just stabilizing around this price point right here of, let's say, 300 to 200, right? This nice broad price point as volume is essentially ramping. There's a massive consensus that people are basically saying this is where we think Tesla is fair value. And subsequently, even with all the bad news, right? We kind of saw this coming, especially after the massive run after the election. It's like, you basically, if you bought on the election day, right? You bought on November 5th, you've lost $0. So fundamentally, that everyone is piling in, the true believers that were piling in, they've lost absolutely nothing. It's only the performance chasers that basically lost their stuff. And even with that, right, even coming down from $480 a share to $227 a share, I'm questioning the sanity of the people that are basically saying this thing is going to go any lower. I genuinely am questioning that, right? So let's just run through what happened in the markets real quick. We basically entered the bear market in the NASDAQ once again for about 5 seconds. Oh, I wonder what happened. Everyone bought stuff. Oh, why? Buy the dip? I can't make this argument enough. The Russell, right? Russell came with weekly breakdown. And I told you guys this. Watch the Russell. Russell faking everyone out, holding above the weekly breakdown, failed weekly breakdown. S&P actually broke down, but subsequently we need to see the weekly close to understand if we're going to get back above 520. And again, it's Tesla earnings today. So guess what? If this thing kicks off, you got Google and Alphabet. We also did that video as well, linked in the channel as well. And subsequently, all of a sudden, the market could just turn really, really greedy really, really fast. Again, I go back to the fear and greed index. When others are fearful, be greedy. When others are greedy, be fearful. And we actually ticked higher while the market sold off. Tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how Bitcoin getting back above 87, the 50-day moving average, by the way, is actually not bearish, or sorry, is bearish. Explain that one to me. Yeah, like Bitcoin breaks above 90, get ready for one hell of a market run. Nvidia, I'm just going through and ranting at this point, guys. Oh, $95 price point. What did I tell you about that, guys? Right, like Nvidia is going to be really fun when it rips everyone's face off. Oh, and here's the best part, guys. Right. So here's the best part about Tesla. Do you know what Tesla's original meme was? It was the graveyard of shorts. So if this thing is trading right now at around $300, I would be laughing to the bank, because that would approximate a 31% short squeeze, and that short squeeze would be legendary while the volume was basically telling you that this is a bottom. So if it's running bullish, that was an absolute fantastic buy. I'll definitely be adding more to my portfolio, and I think that you should be looking at these opportunities as opportunities rather than everyone losing their stuff. Because here's the funny thing that baffles like me to no end. People actually pay managers to lose the money versus watching a YouTube video. And if you guys want to check out 2 videos that are linked over here where you can check out exactly what market levels you need to pay attention to, I go over a large piece of the indexes, different companies, Google, Netflix, Meta, all that in that video, along with a discussion podcast if you want to throw it on as well in the background, linked over here for you guys. So check that out. And while you're around, check out the Discord linked right over here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one and for the live stream on Tesla.